Well, there's a recording as if it were alive. Does everything really consist of time and energy? Can they really exist on time, energy? You will see a very special attempt. The video is not weighted. And what I will show you, you can do it at home. Very cheap tools. And I would ask anyone who does not have electronic knowledge, because they could be hit by electric shock, so safety first. We try to light a 60, what light with a few 6? But it would be interesting between traditional East, though even among traditional East. Let's look at the next phenomenon. What you see, there's a super Juringer, so actually a roll of MOSFET in an interesting switch. At the output of a 60, what fluorescent tube and the other. And at the end, I connected a metal table, so I connected a conductive body. I turned the electronics on it. You see an oscilloscope here, set to FFT, and here an analog oscilloscope. I did not turn on the spectralization. At the end of the oscilloscope, measuring brake and EU foil buttons. I activate the system and just turn it on. I give it energy. It is a stable power supply. It gives DC. There were 18, and you see that he has no burden on it. This is here. None else. Like a small spark of such a lighter and a piezo sparkle on it with a wire. Look at the measuring devices to activate the system, I said, right? Now look at this. I say this can be tried at home. I'll grab the tube. Let's try again. Well, if I did something wrong, then if I cheated on something. What about? I catch a tube. Cycling. To call me a bit near. Do we see an active system and what waves indicate? But the tube is not so illuminated. Let's look at it. As if it was lit. This is a 60-watt tube. Take a look at the values of the power supply. 6 watts, 7. Wow. Just one. Then this is what it looks like with the so-called Avraменko switch. Two confronted diode also motivated each other. I will where to catch it. You will not be elsewhere because this phenomenon will not work. It seems that while the neon tube is lit in my hand, it also works in water, so it is not on the light sheet. So I can really place the wet glass anywhere. And the load doesn't really change. I can connect any conductive tests via Raman curve. And it is interesting that it does not light below. I light it as long as I will. Nothing is prepared. It is a traditional 60-watt fluorescent. So it does not completely light up to the end. It doesn't know much anymore. There's not as much energy in the system. But these are only space and waves time energy, as Nikola Tesla put it. And you see that the system is not really burdened with electromagnetism, electrical cancer, and magnetism, and nothing is common because I could not start the system with the ignition since electromagnetism. The lighter alone does not really exclude. This is not. The function of the function is the next bilum coil, and the biphilo coil should be switched to a MOSI. You have to create stronger stroke waves to get as much energy as possible. But beware, be careful. Watch out, because we are from this. We also consist of only the waves of the space-time. All your thoughts affect my environmentally, and it is negatively tropical energy. This is not a positive entropic. It is a negative entropic energy because the load falls lower. Or, as in case you represent a director, I will now quickly tell you how. How do the stroke waves occur in space-time? These are plasma rings whose surface flows in this form. A uniform energy passes through the ring. More specifically, the ring is from this, and the uniform energy that has passed through it comes from unit and uniformity. So this is an organizing power energy that has passed through the rings. It comes from the future. It comes from consciousness, derived from the unit. And as it passes through it, rings are created, small rings. These are us, pretty much. These rings can spread and pull together. There are 6 different layers on each other, and there is a half spin rotation in their ring. So they call the Russian torsion style model. In this case, the torsion is the twist. And as you create a thought, you formulate and expand these rings. And they affect the other rings the same way. So our little fantastic reality is realized. What you're focusing on is realized. If they focus massively on a particular topic, they're massively focused on a particular topic, whether positive or negative, it will be realized. It really works so much. And yes, through your free will. All you have to do is understand that the downward energy that goes down is passing through rings, energy, and unity is coming to the past. And at the end of the past, at the very end, there is nothing. An energy is a poor condition. And if you move towards that, you will reach it. Chaos, destruction, death. But if you do not target it, but by the way, you are targeting a director principle, the order, the unity, then it happens. And that mankind died globally. By the way, we can use such technologies with it, as well as the waves as you understand it. If sounds are stored from biological patterns for proper procedure, these sounds can be brought in the same way. In the beginning, the Word was, and the Word was God. Feel free to share the video. Thank you very much for watching it. So it's really that simple. Just a Slayer Exciter and a buy, follow, up roll. And on the conductor surfaces that can be connected to Avermind cops. I like my whole number is conductor. What kind of conductor surfaces are between each other? A potential difference really needs to be paid. Not very plus, very minus, but large, small size, color of this color of such color. The higher the extreme conditions, the extreme differences, the greater the potential difference. Time potential. Winter time potential, not charging potential. You have to think more complex, that's a fact. You need to consider the impact we have on our environment. Because we dwell it. And we are for us. Not in itself, because of man, but because of all consciousness. Because our consciousness represents this energy and therefore important. Used to understand that you are affected by the other, and if negative events occur, it has a negative impact on society as a whole. It has not had a negative impact so far, so it has worked so far. This is not a novelty. This is not the novelty. The novelty is that we should understand that we are only of time and energy. And by a director and consciousness that makes it possible to manifest itself as a physics reality. Xfemer coupon code at half price AI-xt.eu. so you can buy the Mardixes at half price. Divide the video with XFEMR coupon code. Thank you for checking out. Hi.